Thank you for agreeing to participate in the Humboldt Area Foundation Scholarship Selection Committee. This tutorial serves two purposes. First is to guide you through how to review the online applications, and secondly is to familiarize you with what you can expect from the committee meeting process. Our goal is that you'll walk into the meeting feeling comfortable and prepared, and you won't feel like there's any surprises. In the initial email that you received from Craig, it will have a few attachments. Just want to quick highlight those. So first is the agenda, which I'll go over in a minute. Secondly is the Scholarship Committee Handbook. Please take the time to review this handbook before you read any of the applications. This goes over our process and our values. Secondly is the Conflict of Interest Statement and the Confidentiality Statement. These two will bring hard copies for your signature at the meeting. So let's talk about this agenda. So the agenda is here to let you know which scholarships you've been assigned to and who is reviewing them with you. So each scholarship will have one person who will have read the same applications as another. So in this case, Janine and Stephanie are reviewing all of the applications for the Olander Memorial Scholarship. When you look at the next scholarship fund, it's the Bill and Juanita Thompson Scholarship Fund. You'll notice that there's several reviewers assigned to this scholarship. This is because this year we received a record number of scholarship applicants. We received over 3,000 scholarship applications. So as you can imagine, some of our scholarships had way more applicants than others. So in this case, it's fair to assume that there was probably over 200 students that applied to this scholarship. And it really wouldn't be fair to put that much weight on two people to review all of those scholarships. So what we've done is we've divvied up the scholarship applications amongst several reviewers. So Lynn and Tiffany are reviewing the same scholarship applications, so they're probably reviewing about 30 each. And then Helen and John are reading the next 30 after that, Sherry and Carol the next after that, and so on. So what will end up happening is we'll want you to come to the committee prepared to talk about your top 3 applicants. And you'll need to know that not all of the committee is going to have read the same applications, but they're all going to be voting on the scholarships with you. So it's really important that you come prepared and articulate the strengths of the candidates so that way yours can possibly come to the top. But the chances are is that the strongest candidate might not have been read by you, so it's really important to listen to what folks are saying. So while this creates a little bit of a cumbersome process, we assign several committee members to a scholarship fund. That way, it's making it so we're only assigning 50 or less scholarship applications to each reviewer. So let's go ahead and dig into the scholarship application. We utilize the email that we use to send you this initial email about the scholarship committee, and the password is included in that email. So on this screen, you may see multiple funds. This is because you've been assigned several different scholarship funds to review for. To begin reviewing, simply select the name of the scholarship fund or this little arrow. At the top of the screen, you'll see the scholarship criteria, as well as how much we have available to give away and the number of awards we have to give away at that amount. Your job as the committee member is to select the candidate that most closely exemplifies these criteria here, so that if the donor was in the room, they would be making decisions in alignment with you. So it's very important to read the criteria for the scholarship fund and to make note of any preferences. Below, you'll see that there's 2 students who've applied for this scholarship. To begin reviewing for the student, simply select the name of the submission. On this side of the screen, you'll see the student's scholarship application, and on this side of the screen, you'll see the evaluation. If you want to make one side of the screen larger or smaller, simply put your mouse anywhere on this black bar, select and drag to make the screen larger or smaller. To review different segments of the student's scholarship application, we have this drop-down box, and this will take you to the transcript, personal statement, and other portions of the application to review. On this side of the screen, we've again piped in the scholarship criteria, but we've also done 2 new updates to the scholarship application. So if you're a returning committee member, please make note that we took into consideration your feedback. So one of the things that we had heard is that it would be really great to have some information on the student that's fairly basic, such as what are they studying, which high school did they graduate from, GPA, and perhaps even some information on their financial need. So we went ahead and automated this so that way you don't have to go hunting for information in the application. Secondly is we have redone and revamped our evaluations. So you'll notice that the evaluation scores will most closely exemplify the criteria up here. So you'll see that when you're reviewing the community service points might be 5 points for one scholarship application, for one scholarship fund, but then in another scholarship fund, if community service is more pertinent, there could be upwards of 50 points assigned to community service. So if you're reviewing for multiple scholarship funds, just please take note that the values may change depending on which fund you're reviewing for. I did want to highlight that we have this comment box here. So it might be helpful to leave notes in this box as to the strengths of a candidate or the weaknesses of a candidate. This can be particularly helpful when you're in the committee meeting because we're going to ask you to talk about your top 3 candidates for each scholarship. And this box will help you quickly come up with that information so that way you're not having to go through the application, reread it in order to speak on behalf of the applicant. So the comments can be particularly helpful. Another tool that you can use is this color coding. So during the committee meeting, we're going to ask you who are your top candidates. And it can be kind of hard to remember who your top candidate is after you've read 50 scholarship applications. So you can color code it. So for example, let's say I wanted to color code only my top 3 green. So these are green is good. These are the ones I want to talk about. Red, that would mean that, yeah, these ones didn't rise to the top for me. And then yellow means maybe you're lukewarm. So you can assign a color to, again, make the process easier for you once you're in committee. Once you're done reviewing for the scholarship, you can save and continue. So let's say you're cooking dinner and you don't want it to burn, you can just push save and continue editing so that way you don't get timed out, or you can submit. Either way, you can always go back and edit and make changes to your evaluation. So I'm going to go ahead and push submit. And then if I wanted to go on and read the next application, all I have to do is click next and it will take me to the next applicant for this scholarship. Once I'm all done reviewing, I can return to the summary. This will take me to the list of all of the scholarships I've reviewed for, so I can see Craig John is green, so perhaps I want to talk about him. We put in these tools, the ranking and the color coding, only to help you. If this isn't helpful and something else that you've come up with on your own is helpful, please feel free to utilize that. We don't want you to feel tied down to our process on reviewing. This is simply a tool for you. Then when you want to review for the next scholarship fund, you can simply use this drag down box. and select the next scholarship, and to begin the next scholarship review for the next fund. This concludes the tutorial video.